I have to just be terribly personal and ask you about that fantastic piece in your ear.
Right.
It's a blue cactus.
It is, yes.
What does it mean?
Well,
Does it mean anything?
It's a saguaro, isn't it? I got it when I was in Arizona and they grow there. Oh, that's all.
It's terrific.
I know, it's
I've never
lovely.
seen one before,
Have you not? Oh, well, there it is.
Do people comment on it to you?
I beg your pardon?
Do people comment on it?
Some people do, yes.
Yeah.
They say that's a lovely cactus you've got there. Why have a cactus in your ear?
I guess that's a fairly predictable response.
Well, I suppose that's right, yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a solicitor.
Makes it even more unusual, I suppose.
I suppose it
Don't
does.
expect solicitors to wear cacti in their ears.
There's only one.
That's true. That's
cactus.
True. So far.
So far, yeah. No,
Yeah.
my wife wears the other.
Does she?
Yes.
On the same ear?
I can't recall. I don't know.
You were both there together?
Yes, yeah.
On a holiday, and you found these. Is it
we had to,
pierced?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had to buy them. We just
Yes, of
didn't
course.
find them.
Yeah,
You have to go. Even in the States, you got to go.
Yes, I've heard.
You got to. Yeah, just like here.
Yeah, that's right. And is your wife also a solicitor?
No. She's a bicycle courier.
A bicycle courier?
We cycle a lot. This is where when we were cycling in Arizona, cycling through the States when we got this. And we cycle. Not so much now, but we took 3 years off and cycled for about 45,000 kilometres around various parts of the world, in the States, Central America, Africa, Eastern Europe, and a bit of Asia.
Gee.
So we saw a lot.
And had some adventures.
Certainly did. Yes.
Like what? Did you ever get any danger?
Not real danger. My wife was mugged one evening in Zimbabwe, in Harare. But someone just grabbed her money belt and took off. That was the closest physical danger. And we had adventures with elephants and skunks and various sorts of
What sort of
animals.
adventures did you have with skunks?
Well, they walked past the tent, very close to our tent, and did what skunks usually do. So in the confined space of our tent, it was.
Where was this?
Oh, that was in California.
Well, was it safe to get out of the tent?
It was. Yeah, well, we weren't going to stay in there. Get away as far as we could. So this smell followed us around in our tent for the next day or so. It's quite foul.
You wouldn't lose the tent, would you? You knew where it was.
No, yeah, you could follow that
What
by
about
your
elephants?
nose.
What experiences have you had with elephants?
We were in a camping ground in Zimbabwe at Lake Kariba, and we put our tent up under a mango tree. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 elephants broke their way into this camping area, and one of them was up on its hind legs shaking this mango tree that our tent was under. So
It was raining mangoes.
just about, we made a very quick exit from the tent on that occasion. We travelled a lot in Eastern Europe for about 4 months, 5 months, in Bulgaria and Romania and Czechoslovakia and all these old communist countries. The people there were interesting and their points of view and their outlook on life and their expectations was quite different to what you'd find with people in many other, or most other countries of the world.
Did that travelling change you, do you think?
Oh, I suppose it did.
Broadened your mind?
Yeah, well, I like to think we had a reasonably broad mind before we started off, but I suppose it's broadened. It made us see so many different things, right from travelling in. We went to Las Vegas, and comparing that with small villages in Africa or ex-communist Romania. That there's just so much. You just can't compare it.
It gave you a glimpse of the world.
It certainly did. Yeah.
And it makes you a better solicitor.
I hope so. I think so. I don't know.
Are you Australian?
Yes.
Yes. Born in
Perth.
Perth?
Yes.
Oh, okay, Perth. Why did you come to Sydney? Did you make a move to Sydney?
Yeah, about 12 years ago.
Decided to decamp and
I
relocate?
had a boyfriend here.
Did you?
Mm.
How did you meet your boyfriend here?
I didn't. He was from Perth.
And he'd come over here
Yes.
and left you there?
No, he wasn't my boyfriend then.
Oh, I see. Who was he then?
He was a friend. So, yeah.
How did he become a boyfriend if he was over here?
Oh, because I came over here for a holiday.
I see. And you looked him up?
Yes.
And you both thought,
Yes.
I'm telling the story, but it's your story.
That sounds about right, yes.
Go on. And then you decided not to go back at all, or did you go home and
No,
then come back?
that didn't go. That relationship ended, and I met someone else, and then I had a child and bought a house and stayed.
I see.
And I'm still here, and I've been in Newtown the whole time.
How old is your
Son,
Son?
10, oh, 9.5.
Right.
Nearly 10.
And have you stayed with your partner, his father?
No.
Do you have a partner now?
No.
Are you close to your family?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. Have you stayed in touch?
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Are they useful? You know, I was just thinking, you know, you have a child and you have a broken relationship and things. Are they useful support?
Well, yes, but they would be a lot
Too
more
far.
useful if they were closer. They are. They have children similar ages to mine. I've got a brother and 2 sisters in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I often miss them. I miss my family most of all.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why it would be good to go back. Yeah. Especially when I got separated, I thought about going back.
Yes.
But I have too much of my life here now. I've been here 12 years.
Tell us a bit about your son, whose name I didn't ask.
Dylan.
Dylan. Dylan after? Anybody in
Well, not really. Dylan Thomas and Bob Dylan, the obvious. One for me and one for John, I suppose, his father. Yeah.
Does he see his father?
Oh, yeah, quite a lot.
And they get on and everything's terrific?
Yeah, no, they have a good relationship. Yeah.
And are you still amicable with John?
No, he's a very good father.
And tell us
When
about
he's
Dylan.
around.
When he's around.
He's been to Melbourne and he's in England at the moment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so.
And what sort of boy is Dylan?
Oh, funny, charming, undisciplined. Oh, he's good, really good fun. Yeah, he's got a really good sense of humour and I enjoy being around him.
And do you find it difficult to bring him up on your own?
Oh, at times.
Yeah.
There are times when I think, oh, yeah, it would just be nice to have someone else at home so I could just sort of go out for short periods of time or at short notice. I do have a flatmate, but she's not around hardly at all, so.
What about discipline? Do you think, I mean, mothers are notoriously soft with their sons particularly.
I have had problems, yeah, but it's okay now.
Yeah.
I worked it through. I got some help with a counsellor and worked it out and did a fair bit of work last year actually and don't have any particular problems at the moment, no.
When you say you had problems, you mean you weren't able to exert the sort of discipline that you should?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
He was having major tantrums and
Yeah.
I was having real difficulties dealing with his tantrums.
Did that last long?
Well,
Probably felt as though it did.
I mean, I could tell you the whole story if you've got another
We'll walk
10
slowly.
minutes.
We'll walk slowly
Well, look,
with you as you tell us the
basically, he was
story.
very insecure at the time because when he was about 6, just after we got separated, I went back to Perth for most of that year, and it took a long time and we had to sell the house, and there were all these unsettling things that happened to him.
Yes.
And I think that it took a couple of years for us to get our relationship back together again.
What was the best thing about the counselling? What did that sort of help? How did that help you?
It was a bit like having a higher power. It was a bit like having this authority figure who said, well, it's just got to be like this, and do this, Dylan, because we all went, Dylan's father and me and Dylan, all three of us. I think, it was like having another authority figure, and I could appeal to that higher power to say, well, Dylan, it's not me, it's, you know.
How would you define success for you? I mean, not just anybody. What would you like to succeed at, put it that way?
That's a very difficult question.
Why?
Well, I suppose I'd like to succeed at relationships and motherhood and parenthood, I suppose.
And you probably are
those are things that are
succeeding at
important
those.
to me, yeah.
Excuse us, what would you do if you won $1 million?
What would I do if I won $1 million?
Yeah. What would you spend it on?
Well, probably buy me mum a house. Probably put it on shares. Probably get into real estate.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
No fun, huh?
Yeah, I'll go shopping spree. Buy myself a car.
What car?
Don't know, probably Corvette. Yeah.
You going to win?
Oh, don't think so, mate.
Tell us about your name for this shop.
I'm calling it the Jurassic Park of scales.
Do you sell these scales?
Well, we don't sell what we have here, otherwise it would be gone, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, very. You're a philosopher. You're always thinking.
I've learned the philosophers on that, yeah?
Why this business? How did
Because
you get into it?
my father served his apprenticeship at it, and I served my apprenticeship at it. It's at weighing machines. It's an apprentice trade. Yes. People don't think about it
No.
that way, but it is an apprentice trade.
And what is it that you get an apprenticeship in weighing machines? Is that?
Oh, it's called scale fitting.
So you got into this because your father was in it.
Yes.
And what's the background to that? I mean, what was your
Ah,
father?
now you're kidding. Now you're kidding. You're really getting into the. You want to see my father's apprenticeship papers?
Have you got him?
Yes.
Really? Where did he get his apprenticeship?
He got his in Austria
Huh.
in 1921. I think he was called a journeyman.
What's it called?
A journeyman.
A journeyman.
A journeyman. That's when you come out of your apprenticeship. You're called a journeyman. Probably from the days when you went from factory or from works to works with your swag as a journeyman, yeah, man on his journey. Yeah?
Travel around and fixing the scales.
No, as a tradesman.
As a tradesman.
As a tradesman, yeah.
Right, I see.
Probably in the days when transport wasn't like it is today.
You grew up around weighing machines and scales.
Sometimes, at some time or other, yes.
Where was that?
Here.
Here, right.
Yeah.
So your father had immigrated.
My father came here in '39.
And you saw, do you remember as a child, do you remember the business that he was in, what he was doing? Do you remember, do you have pictures of it in your head?
Yes, yes. My father had a hardware store in Austria.
Uh-huh.
And when he came here, he found that his trade was what gave him initial employment.
Yes. And was there any question that you would follow in his footsteps?
Well, there wasn't any question. Yeah? It just happened.
Yes.
Yeah?
That was what was going to happen.
No, it just happened. I mean, I was a schoolboy when I came here. We've been in this business for 51 years.
But in this, not
No, my father ran it with my mother, and then I joined them. And when my father passed away, there was just my mother and myself.
What do you do when you're not repairing, fixing scales?
I watch TV and see what kind of nonsense comes over. You're not going to put that out.
And you have a family?
No, I'm a bachelor.
You're a bachelor. Always been a bachelor?
Always been a bachelor.
By choice?
Choice or circumstance?
Right. Looked after yourself, though?
No, my mother looked after me.
And then when your mother
Passed
away,
yeah.
was there someone else who looked after you?
Not yet.
Not
She
yet.
only passed away last year, so
Oh, I see.
I'm still looking.
Have you put a sign up in the window?
You don't need to put a sign up. They
Really?
find you just the same. You're going to get me into trouble. Yeah.
Your mother sounds like she was quite a big influence on you.
My mother was a very level-headed woman, as most women have to be.
Yes. How old was she when she passed away?
91. And she was here until her late 80s.
Working.
Working with me, giving me the benefit of her years of experience.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
That's great.
One day I had a customer, she was here, and I after she bought a scale. I helped her out with it, and as we got to her car, she reached in the back and gave me some chocolates. And here's a bag for your wife.
She thought your mum was your wife. If you were to balance your life with good and bad,
with good and bad,
what stands out as good?
Who am I to say what stands out as good? It's for others to judge.
What about
can't give you my own judgment.
Things that you remember as being, you know, good experiences.
Let's put it this way: good experience, bad experience. The good experience is that I missed the war in Europe, yeah, and that is on that you can always reflect. The bad side of that is just what has one made of it.
Do you think about it much?
Often.
Just a quick question.
Oh, no, really?
Yes, a quick question. What would you do if you won $1 million? What would you do with it?
I'd travel the world.
Anywhere special?
I'd go everywhere through Africa, Asia, South America, Europe. Already done Europe, just got back.
On your own?
No, I'd like to be with someone.
Do you have someone to take?
No.
Would you like to buy one with $1 million? You could buy any man you want, couldn't you?
If I could, who would I have?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't met him yet.
All right. Well, what's your name?
Jane.
Jane. Hope you win $1 million.
Thank
you.
you.
You already did. Is that diamond?
Unfortunately, no.
What a shame.
I know. Would you like to give me one?
Yeah, if I had one.
You're handing out the millions.
No. That was just a question.
Sure, fair enough.
Take care, Jen. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Do you live around here? Do you work around here?
I work at His Majesty's Theatre.
What do you do there?
Ballet dancer.
Are you? I should have guessed, but I didn't look.
With a broken foot at the moment, actually. But
So you're not ballet dancing?
no, at the moment I'm having a bit of a leisurely time, but I'd be quite glad to get back to work. Yeah.
How did you break your foot? Was it at work?
At work, dancing, yep. One of those
Dangerous.
occupational hazards, yeah.
How did you actually, during a performance?
No, rehearsal. Just slipped over, weight was in the wrong spot, and snap.
Nasty. How long have you been a ballet dancer? All your life?
100 years.
You can't be a ballet dancer unless you're a ballet dancer all your life, can you?
That's right.
That's right. When
Total
did you
commitment.
start?
When I was 8 years old.
And did you always love it?
Not at first, no, I gave up. I did it for a very short time, gave up, it's too much hard work. And then I went and saw some real ballet and that was it. I wanted to do that.
Very dedicated, isn't it? That, you have to be dedicated to do it.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't do it half-heartedly. Yeah.
Do you ever feel that, you know, you're missing out on things?
Occasionally, yes. I know, a bit of certain type of freedom. Yeah.
Yes. Because you not only dedication, but you need discipline.
Dedication, discipline, complete focus, yeah.
Not for everyone then.
No, I'm afraid not, no.
Does it allow you to have any kind of a personal or private life at all? I suppose it must do.
Yes. You've got to make sure that you do, otherwise you're just going nuts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been able to have a relationship? I meant in terms of having time to nurture a relationship.
Well, I was lucky because the person whom I formed a relationship with was working in the ballet field as well. Not that we take work home with us, but so we had time within our working field. But yeah, I think anybody can and must.
You have any children?
Not yet.
Do you plan to?
Oh, absolutely.
But that means you really have to stop your career.
You just press the pause button.
Aha.
That's all. Doesn't mean the end. No.
Right. And would you go back to ballet?
I would say so. I think it's something that's just been in my life for nearly all my life. So it's to change is pretty radical, and I don't actually have too many other qualifications. Plus, I've learnt too much in my field to just stop and not pass it on somehow.
Yeah. When you started ballet, obviously your mother or your father or both of them encouraged you. If you were at 8, they took you to ballet.
Yeah, my mother, yes. My father was dead against it until a few years later he saw me dance and then he turned right round and supported me.
Was it cause of friction? I mean...
No, he just worried. He thought it was not going to give me a future.
Oh, I see. So he was worried for you?
He was worried for me that I was just putting my life into something that was not going to do anything for me.
Where were you brought up? Where was this that you first started?
Goulburn, New South Wales.
And you went to a local ballet school?
Yep.
Dance school, perhaps?
Doing one class a week, yes.
Do you remember the first class at all?
Yes, I do.
What did you have to do?
Oh, we skipped. Hopped about and played fairies, you know.
Yeah.
It was fun, yeah, I do remember.
And then how long did you take a break?
I stopped for 2 years.
What made you go back?
I saw the Australian Ballet Company.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty.
And you thought, I've got to do this?
I thought, yes. It was not only the dance, you know, there's the music involved too, and, you know, it stirs the emotions.
What is your position in the ballet? What are you called in the ballet?
Principal dancer, yeah.
That's like star?
One of.
One of. But there aren't many.
No, and each ballet company has its handful of lead and experienced dancers. You know, you need, like anything, you need experience.
I know that a lot of ballet dancers like to work overseas at some of the major companies overseas. Have you had a chance to do that?
Oh yes, I did. That was the first thing I did. I couldn't wait to get out of the country and overseas. Yeah.
Where did you go?
England. Yeah.
With Covent Garden?
No, with London City Ballet, based in London.
And was that a good experience?
Oh, it was wonderful. One of the perks of the job is you tour the world. We went to some pretty amazing countries. Meet some amazing people, do some beautiful dancing, hopefully.
Yes. So lots of memories.
Oh, very much so.
And did you work with any other company?
No, that's the only one apart from this one here.
Which is called?
West Australian Ballet.
Of course, what else?
Yes.
The name of the instrument is called a bandura. It's pronounced a bit like the suburb, but you got to roll the R a bit. I do. Is this SBS or something?
Yes.
I do classical, folk, and 60s and 70s covers, and I sing.
And what was the last piece you just played?
That was actually an old Ukrainian folk tune. Well, I don't know if it was old, but it was a Ukrainian folk.
Are you Ukrainian?
I don't know, but to cut a long story short, I was adopted, and my adoptive mother's from the Ukraine, and she introduced me to the instrument, and I'm very glad that she did. Hi, Mum, if you're watching.
What is your name?
Michael.
Michael.
Michael Radovan.
And you were telling us you were adopted. Where was that? You were adopted here in Australia?
Yeah. I was actually born in Broadmeadows, I know that much, and as far as my natural parents are concerned, I don't know much about them.
And do you remember any, I mean, how old were you? You must have been a baby.
Oh, baby.
Yeah?
Baby. 1 year old. 1 year old or something.
And when did your parents tell you that you were adopted?
Oh, jeepers creepers. As soon as I was old enough to understand. As soon as I was old enough to comprehend, I guess.
So you've always lived with it?
Yeah, it's never really bugged me, to tell you the truth.
Tell me a bit more about your family. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have a sister.
Was she also
younger
adopted?
sister?
Or?
Yes, she was. She was, yes.
And did your parents adopt both of you because they couldn't have children?
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, that was it. They couldn't have children.
Right, so, but now they do, and they're very pleased with you, especially as you play a Ukrainian instrument.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, she doesn't like the fact that I'm busking.
Are you busking to make a living, or are you busking to fill in time?
Well, I'm actually busking to make a living at the moment. I quit my cleaning job about 4 weeks ago, and since then I've been busking to make a living. It's my only source of income. I'm not getting the dole. Okay, people of Australia, I'm not getting the dole.
Why is that a choice that you made?
It's a choice that I made. As far I basically want to make a life out of music.
What would your mum like you to do apart from being a doctor or a solicitor?
Well, I actually have a science degree. She'd prefer me to perhaps find mathematician. Well, I just have a degree, a bachelor. I did a bachelor course at Monash University. I majored in applied maths and statistics. It was very difficult for me. However, I've completed my course in 91 and graduated in 92, and since that time I haven't been able to find a job in maths.
What sort of jobs were you looking for?
Oh, jeepers creepers.
I mean, what sort of job would you consider taking in that line?
Well, at the moment, I've come to the fairly firm decision that it's music that I actually want to do.
Music, yeah.
I want to pursue music, but back then I was basically looking for the sort of jobs that maths graduates, used to get into, such as banking and statistics, that sort of thing, insurance. However,
this is a lot more interesting.
This is a lot more interesting, a lot more enjoyable. I've been playing it for 16 years on and off, but fairly regularly in the past couple of years. I've been singing for just as long.
Do you have a girlfriend, a partner?
No. I don't. To be perfectly honest with you, this is just my opinion actually. I don't think girls go for buskers. they prefer solid citizens.